Thank you so much for coming to our kickoff. It's great to see new faces and familiar faces. There's a few people in the room that I haven't met yet, so I hope I'll get a chance to talk to you afterwards. My name is Kate Paisani. I work at CARLA. The rest of the CARLA staff is here. Let me kind of show you everybody's picture so you know who folks are. Back there is Karin Larson. She's the Executive Assistant Director. Behind her is Liz Hellebeck. She's the Program Associate who brought all the food here for all of you, arranged all of that. And then back in the corner is Marlene Johnsoy, who is our technology guru and our online education guru. And we are the team at CARLA. So for those of you who don't know what we do, I also want to say that the former CARLA director is here, Elaine Jerome. So for those of you who don't know what we do, our mission is to improve language teaching and learning. And so we do that by conducting research, developing free materials for teachers, and sponsoring professional development programming. And we do that through funding that we receive from the US government, from the Department of Education. And so if you came to our kickoff event last year, we were celebrating the fact that we had just received Language Resource Centers funding to support our work for 4 years. And so what we're doing today is to kind of update you on what we've been doing. What has happened in the past year, and what exciting things can you look forward to in the second year of this grant program. So just as a reminder, for those of you who were here last time, we proposed 7 initiatives in 2 different strands. So one strand is about the integration of language and content, and we're exploring that through social justice, through multiliteracies pedagogy, through immersion programming for secondary students. And then the second strand is teacher education and advocacy. So this includes things like the Seals of Biliteracy program that Kendall is going to talk about, our language teacher education conference that we'll be hosting again next year for the first time since 2019. It was on hold during the pandemic. Martha will be talking about that a little bit, and a couple of other projects. And so what we're going to do today is have one of the co-leaders of each of these initiatives, or me, subbing for folks who aren't here, talk about one exciting highlight from the past year, and then one thing that we're looking forward to in the year to come, so that you can think about how you can take advantage of the work that we're doing here at CARLA in a way that meets your interests and your needs. So I'm going to start with the Social Justice in Language Education Initiative. So this is a project that I'm co-leading with Mandy Menke, who is over there. Helena Roof in German, and Lauren Goodspeed in French. And we are conducting research and also doing professional development for this project. And so one of the highlights from 2022-2023 was finally posting a set of curricular units that develop students' understanding of social justice themes and also develops their language proficiency simultaneously. We've posted units in German, French, and Spanish. One of the curriculum developers is here, Ashley Henry. Oh, and Sarah are here too, who also created units for us. So we will be posting units in less commonly taught languages later this fall. We have units in Arabic that Katrine created. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need help. Turkish. Oh, they're on the slide. No, that's different. Turkish, Russian, Dutch, Chinese, and Portuguese. So those are coming soon. One of the things that we're looking forward to this fall is we're going to be publishing a repository of target language texts that are organized thematically according to different social justice topics that could be plugged right into elementary and intermediate language programs. Our graduate research assistant, Yokohama, I saw Yoko. There's Yoko. Yoko is working on creating tags. She's sort of, we have tags for all of these. We're trying to create a standardized list of tags so that they're going to be searchable by grammar features, by vocabulary, by social justice themes, and so on. And so Yoko's working on that, and we're hoping to get that up online this fall. So that's the one thing that we're really excited about that's coming ahead. Okay, I'm going to turn things over to Mandy, who's going to talk about the Literacies in Language Education Initiative.
All right, so Kate and I co-lead this initiative that is Literacies in Language Education. And this has been an initiative now for, this is the second round, kind of. So this is year 6 of us working on it. And the goal with this second round of funding for us this year was really to expand the reach and pull in those Lichtel language teachers as well. So what we're really trying to do is expand the capacity and strengthen teachers' abilities to implement and enact multiliteracy's pedagogy. So a highlight from this year was that our book came out, Literacies in Language Education, that was published with Georgetown. We were pretty excited about that. And then the other piece of that I'm almost more excited about is the website, and that's hosted here at CARLA. So there's a companion website that has so many resources for teachers that are free for them to use. And one of the things that was put, so there's like lesson planning templates on there, there's some example lessons, but then one of the big features that was just added this past year was a database of different instructional activity types, so that a teacher can say, I need to do this, I need to do a conceptualizing activity. How might I structure that? And they can go and look and find those. And so there's a Marie Mangold helped us with that, as well as a couple other graduate research assistants in different years. So we are really excited to have that out. As we move into this next year, looking towards 2023, 2024, we're going to really be focusing on those Lichtels, and we're launching a workshop series. There'll be one in the fall, one in the spring, and they're going to be led by Yuri Kumagai, who's out of Smith College and works in Japanese, and Borbola Gaspar, who's out of the University of Arizona and works in Italian. So we have a Latin script and a non-Latin script there to reach all the different Lichtel instructors. And the idea is that they'll have a chance to come together and learn, but then they can form a community, a learning community, and create some materials that then can be shared with a broader audience. So that is what is coming this year, and we're really excited about it. With that, I'm going to turn it back to Kate.
So we have a couple of initiatives for whom the leaders are not present because they're at other institutions, and one of those is an initiative on secondary dual language and immersion. This is led by Corey Matthew, who's at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. Some of you may know Corey. She was a graduate student here and did her PhD in CNI. And so one of the things that she did during the first year of the grant was to offer an in-person summer institute here in Minneapolis in July. And we're really excited because she's going to be hosting a webinar for us in November. It's on November 9th, and it's on designing teaching materials for that secondary dual language immersion context. She's also going to be conducting research and developing curricular materials, and so that's coming soon as well. And then the other project for which we do not have any co-leaders here is a collaboration with ACTFL, our national language organization. And this is on program evaluation. So this is led by, actually we could have had Marie talk about the project. This is led by Meg Malone and Celia Zamora at ACTFL, and Marie Mangold, who I have just embarrassed, was the graduate research assistant for this project over the summer. And so the three of them together organized a 3-week asynchronous CARLA Institute with welcome. There's some seats in the back, and there's also some in the front. They taught an asynchronous institute for 3 weeks this summer, and they'll be offering it again this coming summer. They're doing kind of a different flavor each time. So this past summer was Lichtels. In summer of 2024, the focus will be on heritage language learners. And they're also this fall going to be offering a follow-up workshop with the cohort from their summer institute. So I think it's the first time we're actually trying this out, having sort of a follow-up workshop to see how things were applied. And they're hoping that they can learn from that and think about ways to modify the summer institute. So moving on to the initiatives that are focused on teacher education and advocacy. The first one is equity and access to state seals of biliteracy, and I'm going to have Kendall come up and talk about that.
Hi, thank you, Kate. So this is a project that I co-lead with Yumi Stockman, who many of you know, who's director of, she's World Language Specialist at the Department of Education. And our work this year was supported by 3 great graduate students. One of them was here, Andrew Fegan. Joanna Sees worked over the summer a bit and during the academic year. And Thi Nguyen from OLPD was a summer RA. So I want to make sure to give them credit because we did a lot this first year and we're at a really exciting point of the project. So overall, the project aims to provide greater equity and access to state seals of biliteracy. Most of you know what those are already. These are awards that high school students can get when they demonstrate high levels of proficiency in English and a world language. And the project is focused on greater access across the state and also greater access for lictals of Minnesota, which don't have the same levels of support as many world languages like Spanish or French. So this year we completed a statewide needs assessment to figure out what teachers and administrators across the state needed to increase the numbers of award winners or seal getters. And then based on their feedback and what they said their needs are, we developed a website, which we are happy to launch today. Sort of been in soft launch mode, but we're happy to do an official launch. Here's the website URL, or you can scan the code, and there you will find information for parents, for students, and for educators. And we're super excited that we have materials, test supports, information in 7 languages, including an informational video and lots of stuff to help students kind of have an idea of what's on the test, and also links to practice tests. Also, I've kind of officially announced today, is that Securian has funded an award through Extempore, has given a grant basically to Extempore and Avant, which will mean tests in 7 lictals are free for the next year for students. So that's, I had nothing to do with getting that money, but we have partnered with them to develop the multilingual supports on the test. So on the site. So please download or check it out, and then there's also a form for feedback. We're really happy to hear your thoughts or translation suggestions or other sites because it's still growing. So we hope to continue this year to get feedback on the materials we've created thus far, to build a national site because the way SEALs tend to work is it's kind of a DIY project. Every district, every teacher is figuring it out. At the national level, kind of every state is creating materials on their own. So we hope to provide some support nationally. And then we will have a CARLA Summer Institute, which will be free for Minnesota teachers and administrators this summer. So thanks. Okay, so and next up is, I'm sorry, I was supposed to say, next up is Martha.
Hi everybody, thanks Kendall, thanks Kate. I am going to talk a little bit about the International Language Teacher Education Conference that we're going to be hosting this spring. So Kate and I are chairing this again. We did it in 2019, and we have the wonderful support of the CARLA staff and all of the infrastructure in place to do this. So it's a wonderful CARLA event. This conference is, so you know, teacher education is a field. Language teacher education is a subfield of that. And so in the field of language teacher education, people explore things like what is the teacher knowledge base, what policies influence pre-service or in-service language teacher education, what beliefs or identities or commitments do language teachers bring to bear on the process of preparing language teachers. So this is a very nice conference for all of us who identify as language teacher educators. This is not a conference for language teachers. It's for teacher educators, common mistake. This is a small conference. There's usually around 200 people. It's an intimate conference in the sense that almost everybody that attends also presents. And the first time I attended this conference, it was so exhilarating because I thought, I found my people. You know, as I was making my own transition from language teacher to language teacher educator, I was going through all of these, you know, processes of trying to figure out how to talk about language teaching in ways that didn't just ground everything that I do in my own personal experience, but in the literature and in the broader field. So I've attended this conference so many times I can't even count, because it's always generative for us language teachers who sometimes are working fairly alone. And you get to meet other language teacher educators that are working in other kinds of institutions, other sorts of, they're located in different departments in higher ed. They might even be school leaders or policymakers. And so it's a really wonderful opportunity to share both theory and practice. So our theme this year is theorizing practice and practicing theory, and it's a very apropos theme for this conference, because there is a lot of knowledge produced in the area of language teacher education, and there's a lot of papers that draw on big theories. But then there's also a lot of presentations and pre-conference workshops that do focus a lot on our own practice. So we welcome proposals across, you know, this long continuum of theory and practice in language teacher education, and we'll count on you to help us get the word out so we can get as many great proposals as possible. Anything I missed?
I think we have copies of the call in the back. So if you're interested, I know many people in this room are doing language teacher education, lots of people who are supervising language programs in this room. I'm looking at all my language people over here. Submit something, submit a symposium, organize something about the work that you do. We really, like Martha said, it's really a great conference. It's so much fun. It's really, I don't know. Yeah, it's exciting. We sound stupid talking about it because we're so excited about it, but it's just like it's a very exciting conference. It's really fun. It's super low key. So yeah.
And there's always proceedings published through CARLA.
Oh, now you've committed us to that.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so just a couple more projects to update you on. One more project that I am leading is on language program direction. And so this is a project that's aimed at folks who are directing language programs at the post-secondary level. So if you're in, for instance, the Department of French and Italian and you teach French, you have a language program director. And so this is what we've been doing is publishing learning modules, and we're working with another language resource center to facilitate a professional learning community, and we're also supporting the publication of Second Language Research and Practice, which is a open access peer-reviewed journal that focuses on post-secondary language education from theoretical, empirical, and practical perspectives. I have been the co-editor of that journal since its inception. We've just finished up issue 4. It will be published in the next couple of weeks, and I have stepped down from that role as co-editor, which I'm happy about because it frees up a little bit of time, but I'm also really happy because the new editors, Senta Gertler and Jesse Gleason, are really great colleagues, and they're going to do an amazing job. So we originally, when we wrote this slide, said looking forward to stepping down from being the co-editor of SLRP, but really what we're looking forward to is developing some more interactive modules for self-study for those of you who are new to language program direction or who are interested in becoming language program directors in the future. And then the last thing that we want to talk about is dissemination. So I'm going to ask Karin to come up to talk about that. None of our work would mean anything if we didn't disseminate it out to a broader public. And Karin is sort of the mastermind behind all of that. So.
We got it up there, okay. As Kate said, I'm Karin Larson, and I coordinate a lot of the professional development programs. I didn't want to limit myself to one highlight, so I have several highlights listed. We had 15 in-person, hybrid, and online presentations with over 2,000 attendees this is just last academic year. We had 7 Saturday workshops with 200 participants. We offered 15 summer institutes with over 290 participants. This fall, we're looking forward to offering 6 free online presentations that showcase our work of our initiatives and also share the work done through a CARLA-funded research project and the research of a new colleague in French and Italian. CARLA will also offer 2 low-cost Saturday workshops, and you can find the information about the presentations and the workshops in the flyer at the back of the room. It's also, all of this information is up online. We look forward to partnering with the Language Center to offer scholarships to attend a CARLA Institute, and we offer these scholarships to University of Minnesota P&A language instructors and graduate students. We gave out 7 scholarships for the summer of 2023. The awardees will share the ideas they gleaned from the workshop they attended at a Teaching Ideas Roundtable that will be held in person in early winter. So that's the other in-person event that we'll have. You are encouraged to attend the roundtable and also to consider applying for a scholarship for 2024. The application will open in January. And just 2 other programs that we support for graduate students and for research on language-related issues are the CARLA Fellow Program. This recognizes and supports the contributions of advanced level graduate students at the U. Awardees receive a $1,000 reimbursement allowance for travel to attend or present at a language-related conference. And they're also invited to give a CARLA presentation. Applications will open the first week of October, and they'll be due the first Monday of November. So keep that in mind if you're an advanced level graduate student. We also offer a graduate research assistant competition, and that provides funding for a summer graduate research assistant. We offer that to full-time research and instructional faculty or staff who would benefit from working with a GRA to conduct research projects reflecting CARLA's mission. Applications open in mid-January, and applications are due the first Monday of March. We hope that you will take advantage of these programs. And this is a list of the presentations coming up this fall. The first one after our kickoff is a webinar titled Addressing Gender and Sexual Diversity in Language Teaching. We encourage you to sign up for the Zoom link for this or all of the presentations. And now I'll turn it back over to Kate.
Oh, and I'm saying thank you. So thank you so much for coming, everybody. If you want to learn more about what we do and you don't get our newsletter, you can go ahead and scan that QR code and sign up for our newsletter. We send something out every week for goings-on here on campus. And we're just so grateful to have you all here and learning about what we're doing and taking advantage of our programs and participating and contributing to our projects. Please help yourselves to more food. We have the room until, 1:30? So you're welcome to hang out and chat with your colleagues and just build community while you're here. So thank you so much.